Dragon Ball Super has been no alien to fan service, making a form called Super Saiyan God, when all the forms before that were 1 through 4, making Vegeta's Super Saiyan God blue, just like the fan art, and then making that the go-to in the future, bringing Frieza back into the main cast of characters, making those old DeviantArt recolors of evil Goku a real character, a multiversal tournament arc, Gogeta versus Broly being a real thing, and even making Gohan Blanco versus Cell Dorado with Gohan Beast versus Cell Max. This manga seems to just do whatever we desire at this point, or whatever seems exciting, and with one last send-off, Toriyama gives us a chapter of our dreams where we see basically all of the top characters just go at it one last time and answer most of our questions right then and there, with Gohan facing down against Ultra Instinct Goku, Super Saiyan Broly, and Vegeta all in a gauntlet back-to-back. But things are not so simple, so I hope to elaborate on a lot of misconceptions and all in all give my own take on the Dragon Ball Super pecking order and my own top 10 that I would go with, so sit down and learn some as usual. The first and biggest things we have to go over, especially for those that have been keeping up with the scaling since Dragon Ball Super Hero, or the movie, is that this last and current fight or brawl we will be explaining is in fact after a time skip, which many people aren't aware of or ignore. Gohan, Goku, Trunks, and Goten all indicate a decent amount of time has passed since Dragon Ball Super Hero in numerous different ways, which means all of the promotional material and Cell Max arc statements and arguments that were presented in the past sort of exist in a weird vacuum. So Orange Piccolo is equal to Goku and Vegeta in Toriyama's perspective? Well, only in the Cell Max arc, objectively. Gohan Beast above everyone else? Only in the Cell Max arc. This works in reverse too. So, for instance, if Goku does well against Gohan Beast now, it does not mean he would have done well against Gohan Beast during the Cell Max arc. These almost need to be considered a weird alternate dimension that doesn't really apply to the current brawl we will be seeing in 103. From what we know of 103 is that Goku's Silver Ultra Instinct seems to be significantly upgraded and trained since the Granola arc, where we last saw it, with his Silver form now being able to be used for possibly up to 15 minutes, gauging off of Gotenks' fusion timer, without any real decrease. Another big detail to note is that many skeptics will argue that Goku is holding back on Gohan and isn't actually using his full power, but this is not true. In B-Jump, it is confirmed both Gohan and Goku show their full power during this, and this is also made pretty obvious through the statements of Vegeta, Beerus, and Whis. However, it should be noted on top of that Goku never planned on fighting Gohan to the end to figure out a winner. He just wanted to gauge him, which is pretty significant later. Some will argue Goku's full power Ultra Instinct is the Susanoo state. I used to be a bit guilty of this, and in the future it may be the case. However, all we know of for sure actually about this Susanoo is that it's actually an Ultra Instinct adaptation to compensate for certain things in a fight. So in the Moro arc, it was so Goku's body could match Moro's size, and in the Granola arc, it may have been because Goku's body actually couldn't move that well and needed an avatar of energy to move for him better. This is also confirmed in guides, which I will obviously show on the screen now. During the fight with Gohan versus Goku, however, we learned that Goku is a much better fighter than Gohan, which should have been pretty obvious, and his Ultra Instinct hacks allows him to avoid most of Gohan's attacks. However, utilizing the full power of the Beast form, Gohan can amplify his power to such an intense degree that not only does Vegeta his pants, but Goku's new full power Silver UI can't actually dodge or react to the follow-up attacks and then gets comboed out of his form. However, this burst of power seems to cause strain on Gohan. Vegeta mentioning that before this burst attack that Goku's experience and hacks is what allows him to fight means even without this rage amp that it is not because Goku is so strong and so fast that he's fighting Gohan, but rather other factors. They then start going back and forth at it, with us not really really knowing if Gohan is amplifying his power all the time. It's like a constant rage state or something. And then Goku calls it quits to let Broly face him for obvious reasons, as Broly would learn from fighting a guy who has similar powers to him, which is what Vegeta says. Based on that fight alone, it's clear that Gohan Beast at max power is then stronger than that full power Ultra Instinct Goku. However, Goku is still in a tier strong enough to fight Gohan, and with his hacks and experience may be able to go the distance and actually win. So in the Granola arc, this was a huge theme with Goku and Vegeta, where this super hard panel here is actually Goku and Vegeta going quote-unquote for the win against Gas, and made their power seemingly much higher than when fighting just at full power or seriously. This may also help explain why Goku's Ultra Instinct kind of sucked against, say, Granola, or weakened during the fight, whereas whenever we saw it before, it seemed to get stronger, implying them going for a win is a step above just fighting at their best, however that works. If this is the case, then Goku might have more to show us, but we don't know for certain right now, and it's probably implied that Goku mastering or using a better silver form means that it's more stable, which is what the for the win thing was kind of for to begin with. All we know for absolute certainty is the maxed Beast Gohan makes Vegeta shit himself. That's when Broly comes in and wants smoke from arguably fatigued Beast Gohan, with Broly eventually going into a controlled Super Saiyan state and fighting him pretty pitched before losing out to Gohan's experience with the Rage Power, which Beerus mentions. Broly being controlled is actually interesting, as if he was just an uncontrolled Super Saiyan in the Broly movie, like Kale during the Tournament of Power, then this mastered form might actually be a very significant buff compared to the Broly movie. And saying it's the mastered form might be a stretch, as we don't know if it's, say, like grade 4 or some unique variant, but that is something to consider. This Broly is also stronger than the one that would have taken perfected Cell Max with the mental programming to defeat during the Cell Max arc, and here's a little tired Beast Gohan spinning him around with a Budokai Dragon Throw, probably implying Gohan has been training more than just the form since said Cell Max. This is when Blue Vegeta comes in and Gohan wonders, why am I the guy to beat? Implying he's actually probably the strongest of all of the Saiyans on Beerus' planet, and Vegeta wants to face the new strongest Saiyan. They then all get into a scuffle cloud, and all of them going all out, knock each other out into base form, with Broly being the only one sitting up and still out of it. Gohan having to fight basically 3 top tiers in a gauntlet without rest, with Goku needing rest, Broly not doing that, and neither did Vegeta, and Gohan stalemates all of them in this scuffle. With that breakdown done, let's try to analyze what the new top 10 in Universe 7 of Dragon Ball Super would actually look like, say outside of the Angels, like Whis. The first top 5 would probably be something like this. Number 1, Beerus. Nobody's beating Beerus. Refer to this video here. Number 2, Black Frieza. He's getting close to Beerus in strength, as stated by V-Jump even before the time skip, in which he one-tapped true Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta without breaking a sweat. During the Cell Max movie, it is possible he is surpassed by Gohan Beast, who by his own lore and statements has the potential and ability to surpass everyone, and in 103 we learn that concept is represented by his Beast state, or at least implied by Goku. The only issue, however, is that this statement only applies to the movie version, which is in the anime timeline, not the manga. In the manga, Gohan Beast is also weaker during the Cell Max fight itself, in which he is clearly struggling to face Cell Max in a beam struggle with even more assistance than he had in the movie, whereas in the movie he kind of just went God mode, literally beast mode, and then just no-diffed Cell Max, and then the others decided to help him because they could. Black Frieza, going by the lore of the other guys, also probably wants to always stay ahead of Goku and the others, and accurately gauged and highballed Goku's potential to such a degree that he knew the exact amount of time it would take to surpass a hypothetical post-multi-decade training Goku he never even met before without knowing anything about him, including Super Saiyan Blue, which he did with Golden Frieza, with the only issue being him not acknowledging his own shortcomings before coming to Earth and the fault of his own powers, such as his stamina restrictions. If this is the case, and he is more knowledgeable on Ultra Instinct than he should have been of the God forms, I mean, for just being honest, it's highly likely he keeps up with his training here and there to stay on the top. It's also unlikely Goku is at Beerus' level in the manga, as Beerus and Whis make no comment of this or anything of the sort whatsoever. In the anime, this is much different, but this video will be focusing just on the manga continuity only, where these events all obviously take place. Number 3 would then be Gohan Beast with the Rage Amp. As described earlier, Gohan Beast is stronger than Goku from what we know of, at least with the Rage Amp. However, Goku could still potentially beat him in a fight with superior hacks, and his superior experience with the potentiality possibility of his I want to win mentality amp being in the bag. Gohan should also be above Super Saiyan Broly, as Beerus just acknowledges Gohan handles all his power way better than Broly, with Whis suggesting that perhaps Gohan should be the next god of destruction, with Beerus turning it down due to Gohan's character. This is notable as they are all noting how impressive Beast Gohan is, that already debuted against Goku earlier, and not the new controlled Super Saiyan Broly in his first fight. Vegeta also shows way more interest in fighting Beast Gohan than Super Saiyan Broly as well, despite Broly having control over his emotions now in a fight and being someone that would probably be interesting to battle. Gohan also does not use his Rage Amp against Broly from what we know of, at least to the same degree he did against Goku, and can still beat him while arguably fatigued. This Broly is just objectively above a restricted cell max that we saw in the previous arc, so this also goes into credit of how strong Gohan got during the time skip, and maybe you can sort of make a mental note that he became this powerful over this time skip, so the other characters probably did as well, and that's something I'm going to be talking about with a few characters here soon. So number 4 would be Ultra Instinct Goku. Goku is here because he has all the steps needed to fight Gohan Beast, who makes Vegeta just blatantly himself repeatedly and potentially is able to beat him. This new 103 Goku is also unique, as he already surpassed Ultra Ego Vegeta from the same arc in the Granola arc in True Ultra Instinct, which is actually just a controlled Omen form, with this now being his new full power or form above True Ultra Instinct, making it hard to argue Vegeta is on his level right now. Vegeta more than likely will be on his level, just being rational, and show more training gains in the future, but right now there's just no evidence of it, and everything he did sort of got off-screen, so we just don't know. All he did was run in on Beast Gohan and Super Saiyan Blue with a God of Destruction Brawl-esque dust cloud, then off-screening all the chaos as Goku jumps in again too. This is even worse if Goku's True Ultra Instinct is a form above the silver one still, but that's unlikely. The only thing Vegeta has that would sort of take him out of number 5 is if you think Blue Vegeta is fighting on a level of Super Saiyan Broly, which could fight Gohan Beast, meaning Ultra Ego Vegeta must be absolutely cracked, and he didn't even use it in this brawl. That would then lead into Vegeta and Broly. Vegeta and Broly, they're pretty self-explanatory based on that pecking order. Vegeta would probably be able to face Broly and do even better than Goku did against Gohan, as Broly has arguably even less power than Beast Gohan and has objectively less experience. Also, just between you and I, Vegeta and Goku are probably going to be relatives still, so the only problem would be the matchup might be more rough, as both Vegeta and Broly seem to be the types that ramp themselves up as they get beat up in fights, whereas Goku could sort of use his hacks to avoid getting hit by bazooka punches from this rampaging Gohan. Vegeta would basically be trying to take it all on the chin, and that might turn out a bit awkward. This one will be a bit contentious, and I'll say that I'm putting it here very lightly. If you want to swap it with the next one, I totally agree, but this would be hypothetical post-training Orange Piccolo at number 7. Piccolo could honestly be up there actually with Vegeta at this time, but it's a bit headcanony, so let me explain where I'm going with this. Toriyama's original intent with Piccolo becoming orange, and this is the original creator's idea, is that he is now up there with Goku and the others, which is pretty much Toriyama's final send-off for his favorite character in the manga, probably implying that if Piccolo jumped in this Looney Tunes scuffle cloud, he would have threw hands with all of them and then got knocked out into base form as well. Another thing about Ultimate and Orange Piccolo is that he has his potential unlocked, as we see with Gohan in Dragon Ball Super, Krillin in Dragon Ball Z, and even Majin Vegeta in the Buu arc becoming Goku's level after he died in terms of training gains, is that everyone who has their potential unlocked tends to actually get higher training gains as the series goes on from there. So if Orange Piccolo kept up with his training, which he is the only one like Goku and Vegeta who never stops at any time, as stated by Toriyama long ago, he is probably actually up there going by the Cell Max movie lore. If you want to be skeptical and think Piccolo weak though, then he would probably be below number 7, which is obviously Cell Max, just like he was in the original movie and arc. Personally though, I think he would be up there with the Instinct Fighters. I think Beast Gohan, while he trained to maintain his form, is probably more of a slacker than the new unlocked Piccolo, who would never stop climbing as hard as possible. Even Goku wanted smoke with Piccolo immediately, just sensing power within him, not even the actual transformation. So what do you guys think? I would say this one is a bit up in the air, but if I were to put some stocks on the market, I'd say we're gonna learn soon enough. That then leads into number 8, which is Cell Max. He was stated, or basically confirmed objectively in the movie, above Ultra Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Ego Vegeta, Orange Piccolo, and even debut Gohan Beast before the time skip in the manga and the training everyone did. Only a rampaging Beerus planet Super Saiyan Broly was actually confirmed stronger than him in the movies, with the manga making no comment. Obviously, with Gohan versus Broly, we learned that the cast has actually all surpassed Cell Max probably individually, at least the top tiers, which makes me believe Piccolo probably did as well, and I'll admit that's all stocks talk though. The thing about Orange Piccolo that you also need to know is that Orange Piccolo, he basically had like an MMA fight with Cell Max and tried to just, you know, kickbox him most of the time and grapple him. But as we discussed in my How Strong Is Piccolo video, Piccolo also possesses attacks such as the Light Grenade, which can exponentially increase his power, and he is a master with the Special Beam Cannon, way above Gohan Beast ever was, as shown in the Frost fight and many other things. So Orange Piccolo probably above, at least by this point. And then 9 and 10 would be Gas and Granola, as they wish to be stronger than anybody in the universe, including Ultra Instinct Goku, who way surpassed Ultra Instinct Moro and even Broly from the Broly movie, meaning even wanked interpretations of the Gammas wouldn't even scale to them. I'd say that if you were conservative and wanted to argue that the cast didn't really get much stronger since the time skip, other than Goku, who kind of wanks off his training gains, then you would just move Cell Max to 6th place, Broly to 5th, and Vegeta to 7th. But I think everyone will agree that's just probably not going to be the case. Some honorable mentions that I'd like to mention would include a new hypothetical Gotenks. Goten and Trunks on the Dragon Ball Super website are actually confirmed to be able to fight pretty evenly with Gohan in their Super Saiyan states and have actually been training since Super Hero. They are hyper prodigies who grow at an insane rate, and if they pulled off a fusion, they might really actually be up there. It's obviously implied that Gohan Beast is above even this hypothetical Gotenks, meaning that, yeah, Gohan Beast is actually a fusion level multiplier, or actually above it, times Super Saiyan 3, meaning that all of those old arguments we used to make and being skeptical about Ultra Instinct being a fusion-esque multiplier actually confirmed. I'd say pretty blatantly. Obviously, we haven't seen this hypothetical true Gotenks, but let's be realistic. Vegito Blue is also next to Beerus, but I decided not to include him because I just consider him a form of Goku and Vegeta alongside Gogeta. And with that being said, what is your top 10? What do you think about characters like Jiren? Would a current Jiren still actually be up there? Does he scale above the gods in the manga and we all think he was just being stupid during the Tournament of Power, as I outlined in my Beerus video here, which you really should check out that video. It's pretty good. And in the anime, you know, he and Goku did surpass Beerus, so does the manga Jiren follow the same lore? Let me know. Other than that though, it was a very fun chapter and I and everyone else had a lot of fun talking about it on streams. Thank you for everything, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.